According to the BIA advisory, acquiring a new customer costs 5 to 10 times more than selling to an existing customer. In this video, I'm going to show you an inexpensive and simple ad strategy that you can use to scale your business by targeting your past customers. One of our clients just last week in the plumbing and HVAC space was able to pull in over 100 calls at 25 bucks a pop using the same exact strategy. And for reference, this industry typically charges anywhere between 100 and 150 per lead using Google Ads. So these are substantially cheaper leads for this business. If you're new here, my name is Tyler Davis. On this channel, all we talk about is how to scale your local service business using Google advertising. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Love having you. Let's get right into the video. I'm going to give you a full breakdown from start to finish of how to launch a retargeting campaign on Google here. We do this for all of our clients. It's incredibly successful. And much like the statistic I gave you at the start of the video, we typically see a 5 times cheaper cost per lead when doing a retargeting campaign. So we put it on everyone's accounts just to increase the overall amount of leads we're getting on these accounts for the dollar we're spending. All right, let's switch over to my computer screen and I'll show you how you can build this inside your own Google Ads account. All right, here we are in my dummy account. This account's not live, so it's gonna look a little different than yours probably, but I can still show you the navigation. So to start, we go over here we go to Tools on the left here, and we go to Shared Library. And then right here, we can select Audience Manager. This is where you're gonna upload your past customer list. So I guess I should mention that before we even can do this, there's a couple things you need. You need to get your CRM and extract your past customer list. Ideally, you want to have at least 1,000 in there. If you have less than 1,000, this probably is not going to work for you because the way this process kind of works is, here, let me show you. So the way this process works is you feed Google a bunch of data, right? So it's your past customer list. It has, email, phone number, name, and zip code of the people you're uploading. So that's what goes in. You have this big box of data that you feed to Google's box, Google's data warehouses or whatever they have, right? You feed that data to Google. Then what Google does is it takes your data that you just gave it and it checks its data. So it has its own box of data that it's looking to try to match these on. So that's why you try to give as many attributes as possible. So if you have, past customer data and you don't have phone numbers, that's fine, but Google's not going to be able to match as many people across those two things. So you might upload, let's say 10,000 past customers into your list, but Google's only going to find 3,000 of them, or, it might find more or less depending on that. So you're always going to have this sort of breakage where Google's not going to find every single person, but when Google does find that person, they'll add it to that list and then they'll be able to, retarget them. So that's kind of how this works. And it's really important if you're going to upload this list, take a little bit of time to clean it up a bit. If your fields, like if your email field, if for some reason you have 2 emails in there, make sure you remove that second email. Or your phone number field, if each phone number is formatted all janky, take the time, use ChatGPT, say, hey, help me write an Excel expression that does this, go through it, clean up the phone numbers, get rid of the parentheses, the dashes, things like that, just to make sure Google can match better. And I'll show you an example here of like uploading an actual list and what it looks like when one of the fields is formatted incorrectly and how you can see that number. So we'll switch back to Google here. Okay, so now we're back here. So what you need to do is you have your list, it's ready to go. You're going to go ahead and upload it. So click this blue plus, let me show it, blue plus icon up here. Click customer list. That's what we're going to upload. Now you can connect, some sort of data source as well. I'm just going to show you the easy way, which is a file upload. So click upload a file manually. Hit continue here. And you're going to need to name it something. I'm just going to name this example for YouTube. I don't typically select a customer type, and we're going to do by emails, phones, and or mailing addresses. Then we go down here to data to upload, and this is where you put the file in. But first, let's show you the instructions. So this is kind of what I was just talking about. Using this example 2 here, this is what we're going to look at. So these are the fields I always try to match. I try to match their email, their phone number, first name, last name, zip, and country. So whatever your extract is from your CRM, try to get all of these lined up in there perfectly, and then upload that list. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to make a dummy list, show it to you, and then we're going to upload it, see what happens. Hey, just popping in. Hope you're enjoying the video so far. Just wanted to say to go check out the links below this video. The first one will take you to our free Ultimate Google Ads Guide. And the second one will take you to an application for us to build you an entire Google Ads machine in your business. Go check out those links. Now let's get back to the video. All right, so here is the dummy data I made. Now, I'm really not 100% certain if this is going to work or not, but because it's all fake phone numbers and fake emails, so maybe, it's not going to recognize any of it. Not exactly sure. What we need here is these headlines with the names, the names the same way Google suggested them, right? So Google said, email, phone, first name, last name, zip, country. The same way that Google says those headlines is what we need here. And then the other important thing when you're saving this, so when you go to save, save as where in your downloads, whatever I'll say it as test data for YouTube, make sure you save it as a CSV. This is how Google needs the information. So save it as a CSV, go ahead, save that, get this out of here. Now let's upload it. So we'll go to up here where we were in Google Ads, go ahead, browse for that file. There's your test data right there. We're going to select that. We're going to open that and we're going to go ahead and check this checkbox saying this data was collected and is being shared with Google in compliance with Google's standards. Make sure you're being compliant. Check that. I don't really bother with this. Don't worry about membership duration or description or anything like that. Just go ahead and click save and continue. And then you'll get shown this here. And I did this specifically so I could show you how to do it. You'll notice when I did the file, we also had different fields that Google did not suggest, such as name. They don't care about name. They care about first name and last name. So when this happens, you'll get an unrecognized column header thing pop up. Just go ahead and select remove this column. Same with state. Google didn't ask for state. They asked for zip code and country. So go ahead, remove this column. Same with address. Go ahead, remove this column. So do all that and then go ahead, click fix and upload. It's uploaded and here we go. Okay, so only 10 of 28 rows were formatted correctly, which is fine because if you'll look, we only had 10 rows of actual data. So that's fine. I don't know why it said 28, maybe because I was playing with some data down here and I ended up deleting it. So maybe like 28 data it filled in, but that's fine. So that's what you want to look at though. If you have like 1,000 rows and it says only 500 of 1,000 rows were formatted correctly, that's an issue. You got to go back to your list, re-upload it, try to fix that. But now you go ahead and hit done. And what you're going to see is that this is populating. So what's going to happen here is over the next 24 hours, this list is going to basically Google, when I gave you that example here, let me see, I think I still have it. This right here, what it's doing is trying to find the data right now. So it's in the process of doing that. It takes some time. Typically, I just check back a day later. It might be ready in a couple hours. I'm not exactly sure, but go ahead, upload the list. Maybe check back in an hour, see what's going on. So the next thing, so yeah, you might want to bookmark this video, honestly. Check it tomorrow, continue watching this video, keep going. Or if you just want to see how it's done here and now, I'll show you that too. While that's populating, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make this actual campaign that targets these people. So how we're going to do that, we're going to go over to campaigns here on the left. We're going to just, click it. And then we're going to click this blue button called new campaign, obviously. Go ahead and make a new campaign. I always create campaigns without guidance. It's just, this is like Google's helping hand with making them, just ignore them. Create without guidance. And then we're going to select a performance max. We're going to go down here. Make sure you set whatever your conversion goal is for your account. So if you're already running a search campaign, your conversion goal is like some sort of, lead form submission or a phone call on your landing page. Go ahead and do that. And then we're going to put your landing page here. So leadliftoff.com, that's fine. And you go ahead and name it something, example retargeting campaign. There we go. So what do you want to focus on? We have two options here. We have conversions or conversion value. If you attribute different conversions or different phone calls to different values, you can adjust this. I just leave it as conversions. I do not set target cost per action yet. Later down the road, something you might want to do, but you never want to cap your campaign right off the bat. You're just going to choke the campaign out and it's not going to be able to like flourish and figure out what the actual cost per action it's realistically going to get. So leave that open. And then customers, I don't check that box at all. Go ahead and go next. For locations, set your location to, there's kind of two ways to do this, right? You could get lazy and you could just say United States, because if you're matching the people, then the people should be matched and you should find it. But the other thing that you're going to want to do is set your locations to like your normal service areas. So that way, maybe someone on that list, maybe you're servicing West Virginia and someone on that list moved to Montana. Well, they're still on your list and Google might still serve them, even though, you're not going to be able to service them anymore because they moved away. So that's why you might want to set this something else. For the example, obviously I'm going to do United States. Language, English. If you also speak Spanish and you have Spanish customers, throw Spanish in there. Let me check the more settings. Add schedule, set this to your business hours. If your conversion action is a phone call, you want to be able to answer that phone call. So set this to your business hours on the right days. For this, I'm just going to say we're always working. And then the rest of these, I don't mess with really at all. Go ahead and click next. And then this is, what is this? This is some AI thing. You can use this AI thing that's going to make ads for you, some asset generation for you. I wouldn't suggest doing this. I would suggest making the ads yourself. But for this purpose, let's just try it. Let's see what happens. So basically what it's doing here is it's creating your asset group. This is where you would do it manually. You would manually put in all these headlines for your business. You would manually put in all these long headlines, all these descriptions. Try the AI thing if you want for idea generation. we do use it sometimes if it actually works really well. But what we end up doing is like, maybe it'll make one good headline that we have to tweak a little bit, and then we'll like rewrite all of these, or we'll use it as idea generation. Maybe we'll keep two or three, but then kind of write the rest, or use our own AI models that we have that are frankly better, and they're trained on your business more to write all this for us as well. Anyways, you want to fill all of this out. You want to select images. So it looks like, from it scanning my website, it didn't get any images. Never use stock images. Just don't do it. Seriously, just use real images you have. For this example, I'm just going to use some stock images to get things moving. So I can kind of show you the process here. Videos, if you don't have a video, Google can like make videos for you. That can be kind of cool. It's kind of just like a moving picture. Do that. Site links and these ad assets and stuff. If this is something that you already have for your search campaign, go ahead and throw it in here. If you don't, then maybe spend the time if it makes sense for your business to do the site links. Like let's say maybe you're a painter, so you have site link 1 is your house painting page, site link 2 is your deck staining page. You could do that as well. It's an option. Basically, the whole idea is to give Google as much information and things as possible. And it's going to try a mix match of all of these things to see what gets the best result. Call to action, I leave it at automated. It usually just picks like the one that makes the most sense for you. And then you can go ahead, like I said, you can keep filling these in if you want. You can put a promotion in there. You can put your prices in there. You can put your phone number. That's probably critical. I would 100% do this. Call outs I would do. Structured snippets I would do. Lead forms I probably would not do. But all these other things, if prices and promotions make sense for your business, totally do it. All these other things, yes, definitely do it. More options. Yeah, you can mess with the display path. You can do some of this stuff. I typically don't mess with that too much, but you can do the display path as well if you want. It just makes the ad like look a little better on specifically the search here. So you see right there, it's really tiny, but it says leadliftoff.com, but I can put like first, last, and then it'll show that right there. So it's just a visual thing. It doesn't actually matter about where the page is going, but you can do that. So you go through all this, and kind of as you're going through here, this will eventually fill up to, complete, and you'll keep going. And this is the important part. This is where you add your list. So you go down to this audience signal down here, your data, you browse your list here. So you go to customer list. So search, your data, click the search bar, click browse, click customer list, and you click your list. And then it's in there. So it's green, it's in there. When I do this, it's going to say, oh, my face is covering it, but let me move my face. It says, under review, it's not ready yet. Hopefully yours will say totally good to go. You have 10,000 matches or whatever it might be, and you're ready to rock. But for us, we're just going to kind of go through with this to show you how to run it. So you go ahead and hit next, set your budget. I mean, honestly, let's say you're doing $100 a day budget. Maybe you drop your search campaign down to 80 and you do 20 here, or you add 20. I do like a fifth of what you're spending on search would be a good idea to do here. So, set it to whatever you want. Let's say I'm doing $100 a day budget. So we're doing 20 on here. Go ahead and hit next. And then, checks for errors, and I'm going to error out, but you get the idea. You need a logo, whatever. Follow the errors. You get the idea. This is how you set it up. And what it does is it shows like a search ad here, shows some like random things across the whole entire internet. So, whatever Discover and YouTube are, Gmail ads possibly, like it goes across the entire internet. And the kind of stats we see, not joking, they're about 1/5 the price. So I highly recommend doing this. Sorry, this example is kind of like not going to actually run the campaign. It's tough to do this as a real example with a real client using real customer data and their real logos and whatnot. This is how you set it all up. And once it's all done, you get it confirmed or whatnot. It's going to be in your campaign list here. So you'll have a campaign. You see all my tests, like dummy ones I make in these videos, but you'll have your campaign here. It'll be your retargeting campaign. And I would expect possibly that the first couple days are going to be kind of shoddy. You're going to get a lot of impressions. You're going to get a lot of clicks, and probably not a lot of leads because it's still trying to figure it out. But around day about 4 or so, it kind of starts kicking in. It kind of starts figuring things out. And it always gets better over time. Now, that's how you build a retargeting campaign for your business. I can't stress enough how good these campaigns are. Like we don't run a client without it. The only time we do is if they don't have a list big enough to do this for. But this is a critical part of any Google ad strategies to target your past customers. Like I said earlier, the BIA advisory reports that acquiring new customers can be 5 to 10 times more expensive than just serving your past customers. Obviously, you still need new customers to grow, but you always want to be tapping into your past customers as well. I recommend delegating 20% of your budget to your past customers, and probably not much more than that, but do about 20%. You'll see great results like our clients do. It's really awesome. All right, that's all I've got for you guys today. Go check out the 2 links below this video. The first one is our free Ultimate Google Ads Guide. It's a complete document with pretty much everything I know about Google Ads. Great resource, completely free. Go check that out. The other link down there is for you to apply for us to build you a Google Ads campaign for your business. We'll do not it's not just one campaign, it's our search campaign, our retargeting campaign, any auxiliary campaigns you might need. It's the full build out, landing pages, all the tracking, everything you need. And we manage it for free for 30 days and give you training to run it yourself after the point of those 30 days. So go check those two links out or go check out another video on this channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.